Hey, it's been a great day here at Northridge in the Ridge Cafe. Began this morning at about 7 o'clock, where about 25 of us guys got together to open up God's Word, and we began by talking about hope. We began with a passage in 1 Peter chapter 3, where Peter is reminding the church that they are to be ready at all times to give an answer to people who ask about the hope that they have. And their hope was something that they demonstrated to others so clearly and so convincingly that people would ask them, why? Where does this hope come from? And that they were able to share with them. About 2 hours after the Bible study, we had a memorial service in here. And the memorial service was for a man who people in this church had extended hope to, had not talked to him about hope, but had shown him hope. Edmund was a homeless man that Scott Heil had seen along the side of the road, holding up a sign saying that he was hungry. And Scott came over, met him, asked him if he was hungry, and took him to lunch, bought him food. And then invested more and more into his life, invested time into his life, helping him get his green card back, helping him find some housing in a church. And when that housing didn't work out anymore, Scott and his father decided to have Edmund move into Scott's father's house, Jerry. And Jerry, who didn't really know this guy, was now opening up his home. And it was great to see the way they extended hope. That extension of hope became really meaningful to Edmund when Edmund discovered that he had cancer that was running through his body, and that he didn't have long to live. And yet when you talk to Edmund, Edmund was a man of hope because people had reached out to him. A couple of the guys took him to Houston to meet his family again, a family that he had been alienated from for 20 years, to meet his daughters who he hadn't seen for all that time, and grandchildren. And so they were extending hope, offering hope, showing hope. And then as Edmund became sicker and sicker, I remember being up at hospice the day before he died. And Louise Heil, Scott's wife, was there taking wet cloths and laying them on his head, cooling him off, just helping him out. And it reminded me of the church in the Middle Ages when the plague came. More people came to Christ during that time, and they came because the Christians were taking care of those who were sick, taking care of the ones that they didn't even know, not just taking care of their children and their parents and their family, but they were taking care of their neighbors. They were extending hope. Hope has a greater impact than anything else. Many things have come out of the opportunity that Scott Heil and his wife, his father, all of those opportunities that they had to help Edmund literally ended up starting a ministry, Take It to the Streets. And Scott and Tom Murray and others went down to Bible Baptist to minister to the homeless every month. They'd cook and they'd bring things down there. It was a great opportunity, and watching these guys' lives be impacted as they extended hope to those who seemed to have so little hope. One couple in the church actually decided to leave Northridge. Not because they were unhappy, but because they felt called by God to extend hope. And so they have left the suburban church and they're gone downtown. And they're meeting with the people down there and helping the homeless. Actually started a Celebrate Recovery class. And are helping people who have addictions. It's exciting to see. What struck me, though, and why I wanted to do the video on this, was because I started out by talking about hope. But what I ended up seeing is people who gathered together because others had shown hope. And it struck me that it's a lot more exciting to see the results of showing hope than talking about it. It was neat to see people whose lives were changed, people who were here. It was neat seeing how hope broke down racial barriers. There were those black and white hugging each other, thanking each other. It was exciting to see. Friends, the church is to be hope. You are leaders. You are leaders in ministries. You may be teaching a children's Sunday school or an adult Sunday school. You may be working in a men's ministry or a women's ministry. You may have a group in your home or you're leading a group at the church. You're leaders. And God has called us as leaders to extend hope to all through Jesus Christ alone. And I got to tell you, when we don't talk about it, but we show it, it's a lot more powerful. I know I'm convinced that I have a job to get up and start showing more hope to my neighbors, to the people around me. If we as a church extend that hope, it is going to be so exciting. Hey, thanks. Have a great week. Show hope. Show hope this week. And then come and tell me about it, please. See you next week.